back out on the pitch?
Yeah, I think we're certainly looking forward to playing at home. Certainly looking at playing at home in front of our own fans. I think as crowds have been terrific this year, and it's something that we've really enjoyed doing. But to have 4 games in under 2 weeks and then have 1 game in a month, I think I don't know the reasons for that, but maybe the scheduling of the competition. I think things like this should probably be taken into account a little bit more. Half of the competition is out of the Challenge Cup, so I've probably been in a similar boat to us. And I think everybody really welcomes a week off at some stage during the year, or even a couple of weeks off to help you refresh and recuperate and give you just a little bit of a respite from it. But I think 1 game in a month at this stage is not great for us as players and coaches. Certainly not great for the fans. And for the clubs in terms of revenue streams. I think it's left us in a not a tough spot, but it could just be done a little bit better, I think.
Have you found it a problem maintaining match sharpness then, and kind of keeping the lads to a certain level?
We'll find out. we'll find out. No, we've used it. We give elements of our squad a little bit of time off. Yeah. We've also been able to use it in the fact that we got some guys coming back from injury, both with a calf strain and an hamstring tear, so it's enabled us I guess to get some more training miles in their legs before they actually play. They're not coming back in cold, and to utilise some time on some guys that needed some bits of extra. So we've done it in different ways, and I think as training sessions, our training sessions generally throughout the year have been good. Probably at Easter time when we were on short turnarounds maybe got affected then, but generally the boys, I'll give them credit, they've trained to a pretty good and intense level most of the time. They're not a bad bunch, and the spirit at the moment throughout them is still a very, very good and determined one.
And you can't get much harder test of your match fitness than Warrington, can you?
No, there's some really tough games in the competition, and this is one of them. The terrific side. They're probably maybe don't feel they are where they should be at this moment in time in terms of the performance, but nonetheless, they went away to Catalan the weekend and got a terrific win. So I think, if you're Warrington and you're maybe not quite where you need to be, to go away to Catalan is probably not a bad sign as well. I think we can certainly take heart that we've been to Warrington this year, put in a very good show, and had a really close and exciting encounter. And I'd like to think that some of our guys can draw off those experiences and really pull some confidence out of the way they performed that day.
Do you think that was Warrington will be sort of guarding against that this week though? I mean, perhaps caught by surprise a little bit.
I'm certain that they'll pay their due respects to us as a team, and they've had a tough trip at the weekend. Some travel involved, so I'm sure that Smithy will have them firmly focused on the fact that they're going to need to come here and do a job. But that's the name of the game. Hopefully we get a terrific crowd on. Our home crowds have been fantastic this year, and let's hope we get a game that can live up to that one in terms of excitement and what both teams put out that day.
Do you think it's an advantage for them that they came out with a good cup win, or do you think it's taking something out of them? Or
I think being in the semi-finals of the cup is fantastic for any team. I know there's obviously a long gap between the semi-finals now, so I'm sure within their club they'll want to be getting people back to formal fitness over these next 6-7 weeks, to stake some claim for places and competition for places in that. But that's warranted. I'm not too worried what advantages they use. They've got a fantastic coach and a really good squad, and we know there'll be a handful. I think for us, we need to just keep concentrating on ourselves and say what we've said for a while. We just make sure that we're doing the fundamental, basic things of the game for long periods. We know if we do that, we're in with a shout wherever we play.
Yeah, because I know you said that you want to cut out mistakes. That was, it's been costly for you, and I suppose that's the we've been looking at in training.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, even though we lost, we lost last time out at Saints, and it's fair to say we lost fairly comfortably. But I still felt there were elements of our performance that we'd worked on that did improve from the weeks before. But we let ourselves down in other areas. It's about knitting all them little pieces together, consistently well over 80 minutes week by week. And I think there's, we're at the halfway stage. It's probably got to be a little bit of a reality check and a realism of where we're at as a team and a club as well. We threw the side together very late. We're certainly not spending as much as most teams in the competition on our squad, and I think probably early season, we got off to a good start, even though we didn't always win every game. We got off to a good start. Perhaps expectations raised a fair bit, but we still think with half a season to go. We think the next six weeks are going to be really, really important for us in defining how we go for the rest of the year. But I guess from a coaching point of view, the great thing for me is the players, and they're thoroughly looking forward to it. There's a great spirit amongst them. They're working really, really hard and striving for that consistency that hopefully is going to translate into a few more wins for us.
You'll be counting the tackles this weekend as well.
I think the fans did that for us at St Helens. I thought that were really amusing. Obviously, it's the first time we've had Thierry since then, and for the first 5 or 6 sets of 6, they were counting for him. And we did get off the field, and one of the boys said he made his hand the ball over on a 5th tackle instead of a 6. So I was like, no, he can't have undercounted us this time. Anyway, I'm pleased to say the video proved Thierry were correct in this instance. But I thought, surely not, you couldn't make this up. But no, I think the boys have got it in their head. But that wasn't the case on that occasion. But we'll see. I mean, referees can have, referees or refereeing styles can have, a big bearing on the way the game goes, and in particular on who you're playing. Certain styles, the refs, perhaps suit certain styles of teams, and it's always interesting to see who you've got and the impact that potentially that sometimes has on the game.
And team news then, Richard. Ali and Steve back this week then?
Yeah, they're going to be back in the night team. We're not decided on his team yet. We'll name the team as last team run on Saturday. We're just having a look at the makeup of it. Ollie Wilkes is the only guy out at the moment. He's still got a pot on his hand, and we're probably looking to try and get Ollie back, hopefully for the whole game. That'll probably be a week early, but we're looking to try and get him back in there. Ali and Steve both trained with us for the last 2 weeks, come through with flying colours, and it would be good to get them back involved in selection. I think Ali in particular is a guy that we've missed enormously. I think our performances when Ali's in the team but on the field as well, I think it is a major influence on our side, and he's got a strong presence in our team, and I know he's a quiet guy, and it's not something that perhaps we noted in his style of play at Leeds, but he's shown a hell of a lot of leadership qualities for us this year, and we've certainly missed him and looking forward to getting him back on the field. And for Bluey's had a fairly punctuated season with 1 or 2 things, and it'd be good for Steve to get back in and stake a claim. He's feeling very fit and refreshed after his enforced absence.
So you're pretty much at full strength then, or almost.
Apart from Ollie, and I think we know from row is an area for us that we've probably missed Ollie's size and presence. And you throw Ali in that, Ali's certainly got some size and presence about him as well. So yeah, I think Ollie's been a miss for us. But it'll give some other guys an opportunity. Paul Johnson will come back into the squad this week after missing the last 2 or 3. I thought he played really well for the 20s last time out, and he'll get a crack this week.
I know you've been saying this week about looking ahead to next season and building a squad next season, getting some new faces in. Is that?
Yeah, we're looking. I think like most clubs at this time of the year, it starts very early now. It's I know we've all got deadlines when we're not supposed to speak to players, but there seems to be plenty of players that are moving clubs at this point, and we have been actively looking in the market, and we've got to have a look at our own squad and see where the gaps are. We have targeted certainly 2 or 3 players. I'm a big believer. I don't think we need that much, but I think we need an increase in quality certainly in a couple of positions and a little bit more depth in a couple of positions. But I don't think we're going to have need for massive wholesale changes. I think it's just a case of trying to identify and secure the right people that can make the necessary improvements in certain areas of our team.
Any particular areas in the pitch you're looking at? Is it pack or?
Yeah, certainly. We certainly look at 2 or 3 additions to us pack for sure. Yeah, I think that's a priority for us.